안녕하십니까. 폴란드 무역투자대표부 서울사무소 대표 안나 와고진스카입니다. Hello everyone. My name is Anna Wago진ska and I'm the head of Polish Investment and Trade Agency office in Seoul. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this webinar as a speaker. During my presentation, I will introduce you Poland, Polish investment policy, and flagship government projects. But let me first introduce you briefly to PAIH. The Polish Investment and Trade Agency, in short PAIH, is a state-owned organization supporting foreign expansion of Polish entrepreneurship and FDIs in Poland. As you can see on the slides, PAIH is part of PFR Group, which is Polish Development Fund Group. Along with other organizations like KFK, KUKE, BGK, we are responsible for supporting Polish development and Polish companies. Our organization is directly under Ministry of Economy, Development, Labor and Technology. PAIH is responsible for three sectors: export, which means support of Polish entrepreneurs with particular emphasis on small and medium-sized enterprises; investment, which means both increasing domestic investments in Poland and abroad, as well as supporting foreign direct investments in Poland. And the third one is partnership, so that means cooperation with public administration and business environment institution in the implementation of joint projects, like, for example, these webinars. Where are we? As I mentioned, I'm representing the Polish Investment and Trade Agency Seoul office, but we have a lot of offices all around the world, as you may see on this map. PAIH. As we will be focusing today on investment issues, I would like to briefly tell you what we do for investors, for what we can do for Korean investors as well. PAIH is like a one-stop shop. So if you reach to us, we can help you with everything you need from A to Z to get your FDI investments in Poland, and we do it free of charge. So we help you with getting information about Poland, like macroeconomics informations, about different forms of funding. We can help you with also getting those incentives. We can help you with finding the best location. So we do the consulting. We have a huge base of location plots, investment plots, so we can definitely find something that fits your needs. We help in identification of potential partners and suppliers for future cooperation and for setting up your plant or the facility. We are facilitating also contacts with local and central government, which can help you during whole the process. We can help with organizing the on-site visits for the prospective investors. We can introduce you to startups ecosystem if you need some technological support. We also support in building partnership with R&D centers and institutes that are already in Poland. And we also do a follow-up service post-completion of the investment projects. So we have a very big experienced team back in Poland, because of course our office here in Seoul is not the biggest one, but together we can help you. So we welcome you to do your investments with us. Now let me tell you briefly about why Poland is a good place to invest. As you may see on the slides, Poland is the 5th most populous country in the European Union. We are also the largest country in Central Eastern Europe. We have a currency which called zloty, which is as to the exchange rate around Chon won is 3.4 zlotys. As to tax rates, we have CIT, which is 19%, we have VAT, 23%, and we have also PIT. Before COVID, Poland was already EU leader in capital inbound investments, and even though COVID happened, we still see a huge inflow of investments, and we hope that we will rebound already in 2021. As everyone knows, like 2020 was very problematic for everyone. Poland has a very strategic location. We are in the heart of Europe. I know that a lot of countries may say that, maybe not a lot, but few of them can say that they are the heart of Europe. But in case of Poland, what is very beneficial is like we have 4 pan-European corridors going through Poland. We have 2 trans-European transport network projects. We have 41 intermodal terminals, 6 at the sea and 35 inland ones. We have rapidly developing internal highway infrastructure, so you can get by the car to other European countries without any problems. Of course, not mentioning COVID now and closed borders. We have, of course, airports, and we have access to the sea, which is very important. Let me show you. This is the map of the north part of Poland, so where the ports are located. As you can see, we also have deep water container terminal, so that if your investment is like product oriented, and later on you have to, like you want to export your product or send it out back to Korea or to other countries, this is very convenient. You can do it through Poland. You don't have to transfer it to different country. As to human resources, this is also very important because when you're doing your investments, later you need people to work with, yes. So what is important is that the population of Poland amounts to over 38 million people and comprises around 40% of the population of all the countries of Central and Eastern Europe. So we are also the largest country, as I already mentioned. We are the 5th in European Union, and 60% of our population lives in the cities. What is very important also to underline that 63% of population is under 50 years of age, and 9.8 million Poles are under the age of 25. So we are quite young generation in population. The unemployment rate is 6.1, but of course it differs depending from the regions. And what is also important that we are the country with the largest inflow of foreign workers from outside of the European Union. So for sure you will be able to find people to work for you in Poland. What is different about Poland than other European countries is that we don't focus only on one sector, which is why our country didn't suffer as much as other countries during COVID or during the recessions in previous years. Because we not only go, for example, for automotive and electromobility sector, which is already big, but we also are very well developed in aerospace sector, in business service sector, in research and development sector, food processing, and electronics and white goods. So if one of the sectors, let's say, collapse or has some problems, the other sectors can support and keep the country going on. So summing up, Poland is your place to invest, right? So it has unprecedented growth, highest growth rate in the OECD countries between 1990 and 2019. Biggest labor and product market in CE. We are a very transparent country, so you will not have any problems as to legal things. We are a very business-friendly country. Of course, not as much as Korea. as we know, we are the 5th. We are on the 14th place, but we are trying our best to go up. But we are the first in CE countries. We are stable, as I mentioned already before. We are the FDI magnet. We have very well-developed infrastructure, and we have competitive cities. So this is like to sum up in general how Poland looks like. And now let me go maybe more in details as to the public aid in Poland. Just to let you know that, like, in case of public aid, I'm meaning about the investments concerning the foreign direct investments. Yes, so if you are interested in FDI, this is what options you have if you choose so-called incentives. So we can divide public aid into national incentives, local incentives, and EU funds. In case of national incentives, we have Cit exemption between 10 to 15 years, tax-free. We have cash grants for strategic projects up to 25% of the investment costs. As to local incentives, we have real estate tax exemption for up to 5 years. We have also financial and training support from local employment offices. And we also have EU funds. So, as you can see on the map, Poland is divided into 16 regions called voivodeship. And depending in which region you choose to locate your investment, different amount of incentives you can receive. So the highest you can get is like 50% of your investment. The lowest is 10% of your investments. And you can get it in a shape of those incentives that I mentioned before. So as if you can mix and match, yes? So for example, you can have those 50% or those 30% in a shape of Cit exemption. You can have it in cash grants. You can have it in real estate tax. So it can be adjusted depending of if you fill the certain criteria, and also in what location you are, what sizes of your investment. So we, of course, PAI, of course, helps you to choose the best option, to suggest you the best option, and also go the process and apply for those. So for you, depending what you want, we can help you to get what you need. And as you can see on the above table, you can see how much money you can get maximum. Of course, there is an option to get more than 50%. But to do that, we have to inform European Commission, and it's more bureaucratic, but it is also possible. So if your investment is really, really big, then it is also possible to request some additional funding. But this is like maybe a topic for one-to-one when we'll have more details on your projects. Maybe I will briefly explain how the Cit exemption works. So in general, in the past, to get exemption from Cit, you would have to choose your location within economic zones. We have 14 economic zones, as you can see on the map. But this changed in 2018, because in 2018, Poland became one big economic zone. That means that since 2018, you are able to get tax, like Cit exemption, whatever location you choose, which is very beneficial for you, right? So you choose the location that is preferential for you. Maybe there are your clients already there. Maybe it is closer to the seaports because it's more better for you in terms of logistics. Doesn't matter. You can get Cit exemption. Also, there are like two criteria that we check the company. So there is like qualitative criteria, and there is quantitative criteria. In case of qualitative criteria, you need to get up to 4 to 6 points, like which are answering the question yes, no. So if you have this criteria for positively, you get 1 point. In case of quantitative criteria, it is counted depending on the size of your investment. And truly, in case of CIT, to apply for it and to get decision, it takes, if your documents are properly applied, it takes only 1 month. So within 1 month after application, you get the decision. And the decision, there is no base to say no. If the documents are filled properly, you will definitely get this kind of incentive. As to second incentive, which is also national incentive, so cash grants, these differ depending on the type of your investments, as well as the size of your company. As you may see on the slides, it differs a little bit, but what is very important is that we can help you to obtain this. As a PIE, you submit all the documents to receive this incentive to us, and we are the one who will then connect with the ministries and with institutions. We will be the one helping to check, verify, and to help you apply. So it's like you send us documents and we do all the job. And within 2 to 3 months, you will get answer if you are eligible to get this type of support. Normally, we also helped with it very, with success, let's say like that. So, so what I can do to tell you is like, if you go with FDI, if you are interested in doing foreign direct investments in Poland, we can help you through the whole process, as I already mentioned. Now let me go to strategic projects for the transformation and investment for the future. So these projects I'll be talking about are more in the case of execution of investments. So I heard from the organizers that there are a lot of companies who are willing to take part in tenders and who are very interested in executing the investments here, not here, in Poland, yes. So there are a lot of options, as we have a lot of big projects going on. First, let me give you some basis. So, as you probably heard, there is a new European fund for 2021-2027, which consists of like Smart Europe, Green Europe, Connected Europe, Social Europe, Citizen Europe. Also, there is like 2050 long-term strategy, which the EU aims to be climate neutral by 2050. This is like a new strategy for the economic development of European Union, and Poland, as you know, is a part of the European Union. This is also the part of which the so-called European Green Deal is. So the European Green Deal, as you probably already heard, introduces a new economic model. It means a new vision of development, new values, and sector policies. The entire financial system will be adjusted to finance the goals of green transformation. So like greening of the European Union budget and direction of financing and structural funds and national budgets, and also changing the states. And the European Green Deal includes an action plan to enable a more efficient use of resources through transition to a clean circular economy, stop climate change, preventing loss biodiversity, and reducing the level of pollution. So this is like the basis from which we can go further. So Poland is one of the largest beneficiary of the EU budget for 2021 and 2027. That means that we will get both from this fund as well as reconstruction fund, which is a fund which to support countries, European countries after COVID. And Poland will receive approximately 136.4 billion euros in subsidies and approximately 34.2 billion in loans from all the sources. And all this money will have to be invested. This means that there will be a lot of new projects that will be launched. Poland is currently drawing up so-called Krajowy Plan Odbudowy, which is like through specific reforms, programs, and investment will be introduced to make it happen. Yes, to make use of those money that we'll get. So Poland will be investing in digital transformation. Will be investing in resilience and competitiveness of the economy, energy and reduction of energy intensity, availability and quality of the healthcare system, green and intelligent mobility, and also in infrastructure. And as we are talking about the infrastructure and getting like more into future and more into healthier and more economic and greener Poland, I have to mention a very big project. This is one of the strategic projects of Poland. It's called the Solidary Transport Hub. Solidary Transport Hub is a planned transfer hub between Warsaw and Łódź, which will be integrated air, rail, road transport. The development ensures the construction of Solidary Airport, located just 37 kilometers west of Warsaw. Warsaw is the capital of Poland, just to mention. And it will be covering 3,000 hectares. And during the first stage, the airport is planned to hold 45 million passengers a year. Additionally, to the port, it will include also the railway investments, railway not in the airport's close vicinity, as well as the connection with Poland, enabling transfer between Warsaw and other largest Polish cities in less than 2.5 hours. The investment should provide a lot of employment and a lot of options for Korean companies to also take part and to execute those projects. And also there will be Airport City, which will be created within the borders of Solidary Transport Port. So it will include fair conference facility, as well as offers other options of investment and development, also like housing. South Korea, Incheon Airport became a strategic partner of the planned Polish Solidary Transportation Hub. Also, a memorandum of understanding between Poland and South Korea was already signed on February 26th this year. So it's like we are already friends with Korea officially, and we are. I hope that this will also help to get more investment exchange within the future years. As to Solidary Transport Hub Poland, it has 4 components. So as I mentioned, there will be airports, so airport hub. There will be like railway transportation, so all the railways connection. There will be Aeropolis, so the Aero City, and of course other urban planning and development strategy. So as you can see in this sphere, the impact of the airport investments goes far beyond of the infrastructure itself. So airports are the important factor in economic development of the region. They contribute positively to a greater mobility of people, ensure the development of tourism, create new opportunities for investors and business by increasing the availability of foreign markets and contribute to creation of new jobs. So as a result, there will be big new options for creation during this creation of this airport. As you can see on this slide, it shows a tentative schedule of the project tender procedures. Of course, there will be lots of more tenders going on as the project, as you saw on the previous slide, has lots of subcategories, sub-projects that have to be done. So what I recommend to you is like go to CPK website, which is www.cpk.pl. On this website, there you can see the schedule with the updated information. There's also a separate website where you can see all the tenders which are already going on and which are in the process or will to which you can apply. And this is, for example, the tentative schedule for the railway. On the second slide, you can see the tentative schedule for the procedures to the airport. So all those informations are also available on the website. All those tenders with detailed documents are uploaded also on their website. The only thing that I need to underline is same as in Korea. So all those tenders are in Polish mainly. And so definitely either you need to hire a Polish-speaking staff or get a partner who will be able to help you with this one, because Polish is quite hard. Other project that I would like to mention to you is connected with energy policy of Poland until 2030. So also within this year, on February 2nd, the Council of Ministers of Poland approved the Poland's energy policy until 2040. In short, PEP 2040. It sets the framework for the energy transition in Poland. It contains a strategic decision regarding the selection of technologies used to establish a low-emission energy system. So it's like in connection with Green Deal that was already mentioned. So PEP contributes to implementation of the Paris Agreement concluded in December 2015. Also the other previously signed documents, and also all those concepts going into more greener and healthier society and country. PEP is also a national contribution in the EU climate and energy policy, whose ambition is to minimize the increase of significant recent times. So key elements of PEP is installation of capacity of offshore wind energy. It is also including the photovoltaic investments. But what is very new to Poland, it is also that we will soon have, I hope we'll soon have the nuclear power plants as well. By 2030, the first nuclear unit should be operating. So, as you might know, Poland has the largest reserve of coal in Europe, and is the second largest coal producer in Europe behind Germany. In 2016, 48% of the country's primary energy consumption was the coal, and all the fossil fuels together accounted for 95%. So, as we know, this is not the healthiest for Earth. So this is also why we need to do that transition. And this transition will involve a lot of money and a lot of investments, to which nuclear power plant is one of. So, as I mentioned, in 2033, the first nuclear power plant unit with the capacity of 1.1 or 1.6 gigawatt will be commissioned, and subsequently units to be launched every 2 to 3 years. So, in total, Poland assumes the construction of 6 units by 2043. Nuclear power plants should ensure the stable power generation with zero air pollution emission. At the same time, it is possible to diversify energy generation extraction. So the implementation of the nuclear power requires, of course, earlier legal changes, facilitating of a lot of laws and a lot of work. And this project is like on very early state. As you can see on the chart, on the slide, currently, Poland is in the process of selecting the technology for the NPP1 and NPP2. And after that period, it will slowly start, this project will slowly start to come to life. And what does it mean? That means investments. That means road transport infrastructure investments, railroad transport infrastructure, marine logistics. That means also airport transport, water supply networks, sewage networks, site accommodation facilities, telecommunication, ICT networks. So this project is also a huge one and will need a lot of work and give a lot of investment possibilities. Unfortunately, this project is in a very early stage, so currently I can't share with you any timeline, any schedule as to where to go, what options will be possible, and where you can apply if you would like to execute this type of investment. But surely next year, or at the end of this year, some projects should slowly be available, like officially, with the information of timeline. So, to summary, Poland is a place to invest, yes. Fast pool of high-skilled labor, big internal market. It is also academic hub. We have developed infrastructure, business-friendly environment, and we have attractive incentives. If you are interested in FDI projects and you would like to do them in Poland, you can always contact the Polish Investment and Trade Agency, PAIH, so us. We have an office here in Seoul in Gwanemun, so you can always reach us and we can help you with that. If you are interested more as an execution of the investment that are ongoing in Poland, unfortunately we can't officially help you with this one because this is something out of our scope of work. But definitely, as you can see from those only 2 key strategic projects that I mentioned, that there will be a lot of options of investments in which you can take part. So whatever choice you will do, you will have, whatever company does, what your company does, I think you are able to find good business partners or good investment opportunities in Poland. So we welcome you to invest in us and please come to Poland. Thank you.